Hey guys, I'm in labor. I'm gonna zoom by this. If I leave out any details that you guys want to know about, just ask me in the comments because I am so tired of making this video. I try to zoom by it as quick as I can, but it always reaches the maximum limit on my phone. So it's really frustrating me. Um, I'm in labor. I am still at home, you see I'm still at home. Um, but last night it was feeling really great outside. Wayne and I went on a walk to the gas station, came back, chilled for 2 hours, bored, still nice outside, wanted to go get a movie and come home, watch movies together and eat dinner. So and like everything is pretty close to us. We live in town, so we're close to everything. So nothing is very long of a walk. It's made longer because I'm pregnant and also because I have Braxton Hicks when I start walking, but still pretty short walks. So we decided we were gonna walk to the pawn shop. That is like literally a 3 minute drive. If I was driving, I could be there in like freaking 3 minutes. So it wasn't gonna be that long of a walk. It, so we started walking. We left at 6:15. The reason that I know it was at 6:15 is because I had to keep track of the time because the pawn shop closed at 7. And like I said, I'm slow because I'm pregnant, and then when I have contractions, I'm slower. So I was making sure to keep track of the time. So we left at exactly 6:15 and started walking. We at 6:22, I checked my phone again. I was already starting to have, and the reason I checked is because I was already starting to cramp and have some Braxton Hicks come back, and I was like, probably from my previous walk from earlier today. Ignored it, kept going. Halfway there, around 6:30 ish. It was like 6:26, I think, when I checked. And actually, we were a little more than halfway there. And it was getting worse. I had to stop and take breaks. I didn't want to sit down because I knew I would never want to get back up, and we were on a time limit. So I did not want to sit down. So I would not sit down. And it wasn't that bad, like I said. Like they were getting worse, but it wasn't that bad. And I figured it was probably just because of the other walk that we had took earlier that day. Because that was a decently sized walk as well. Excuse me. So I had to keep stopping, just standing there and bending over, uh, uh, hands on my knees and, taking some deep breaths and practicing my Lamaze breathing. So kept walking though. It got so bad I had to lean on Wayne so that I was able to walk faster because there wasn't as much pressure on me. It started to get into my back and into my left side of my hip, and when it did that, it hurt so bad I almost cried. I did. I almost cried several times because of my back and my side. We were already almost there, so I was not about to give up and go home. So we got there eventually at around 6:47, 6:50, and by that time they only had, a little less than 15 minutes before they closed. So we went in there. I did not care what anybody thought of me. I was having some really painful Braxton Hicks. I sat down on the floor in the store in front of the movies. So I picked out some movies. Wayne picked out some movies. We went and paid for them, had to leave. They were closing. We went and sat on a stone wall that was outside there. And uh, I realized then that like the whole time when I started having them worse, I knew that I was dreading having to walk back, and I was regretting walking again in the first place because this was the first time that I had taken a long walk, chilled, and then taken another long walk all in the same day. So this was the first time. I did not know that I was going to react this way, that my body was going to react this way. Had I would not have done it. I did not think that my baby was at risk. Women have Braxton Hicks contractions all the time, and it's just walking. So, and I'm 36 weeks in 2 days. Yet at the time yesterday is when it happened. So 36 weeks, one day. Um, but so at this point in time, we're sitting on the stone wall, and I realize now I can't walk back. My body is not going to allow me to. It is much too painful for me to even attempt to walk back. So I sit there and I'm trying to think of what to do. I know that no one is going to come out and get us and take us home because, like I said, it's a 3 minute drive from the pawn shop to our apartment. It's a 3 minute drive. So I knew that no one was going to come out for a 3 minute drive to take me and Wayne home when we could easily walk. Um, but I didn't know what else to do. So I called my mom. My mom asked if I was having contractions. I told her I think they were just Braxton Hicks, that I don't think that it's anything to worry about. But it just hurt so bad. I almost was in tears and I couldn't handle walking back home. She's been having problems with her vehicle, or she would have come out just to take me home, but she's just been having too many problems with it, and it was about to rain, and her windshield wipers no longer are working. They quit recently. My dad was unemployed. They laid him off. He started back today, so that's a good thing. But he was still laid off for about 2 3 weeks. So they were they hit a rough spot real fast, and they had to make sure all their bills are paid before they could worry about going and getting some windshield wipers because no one expected it to be raining. It's winter. So or is supposed to be. I honestly don't know if we're even gonna have one anymore. But so I didn't want to ask her because I knew she wouldn't be able to. Um, I knew that she would come out to take me to the hospital, and I was thinking about it. I didn't want to go because I did not think that it was necessary. I thought that I would get there, they would hook me up, see if I was having contractions, and they'd be like, "No, you're not having contractions. You're a whiny bitch. Go home." So, and then I'd feel like an idiot for going. So I didn't really want to go. And you know what? I honestly blame my doctor for my mindset of that because the labor and delivery here at my hospital, they are so nice. Like all of them are such sweet people that I've met every time I've been. Like they have always been really nice and they have great personalities and I've always really liked them. But I always feel like I'm going to annoy them or like I'm an idiot and they think that I'm an idiot. And I honestly think it's because of my doctor because he makes me feel that way at my appointments because he tells me when I tell him I'm having Braxton Hicks contractions at 6 months when I walk, he tells me no, I'm not. Doesn't ask me anything about them, doesn't check me for anything. I don't know if he could, but doesn't do anything about it. Just straight up tells me that no, I'm not. Excuse me, you're a man. You've never been pregnant. I know I'm having Braxton Hicks contractions. Who are you to tell me that I'm not? I mean, but I just let it go. I was not worried about it. I knew I was having them. They weren't a big deal, so I just let it go from there. But I blame my doctor for my feelings about going and getting checked, which is terrible because I'm pregnant. This is my first time, my first pregnancy. I should be able to go whenever I feel like going, whether it is something stupid or idiotic. I should not be made to feel like it's stupid or idiotic. I should be made to feel that everything is important. And oh no, you're fine. It's your first time. These things happen. It's okay. But no, not treated that way by my doctor. I don't want to switch because it's too late. We talked about that before. Getting off topic. Let's go back. Um, okay, so I decided that I couldn't do it, so I had to go. So got there, was registering in. My mom, it was about to start raining, so we had to walk to the little convenience store that was close beside it and wait in there because it was raining. And my mom got there, picked us up. We went to the hospital, got registered in. It was about 7:40 ish. It was not even 8 o'clock yet. Um, um, they asked me what was going on. I said, I honestly don't know. This is what happened. I don't know if I'm having contractions. I have no idea. I've never had them before. I don't know. My mom thinks I am, so I just wanted to be sure. And they're like, don't worry, girl, we got you. And I was like, oh, thank you. Um, because my doctor's a piece of shit and at least you actually care. So they wheeled me back in a wheelchair. It's their standard policy. I can be perfectly fine and not having any pain at all, but they would still wheelchair me back. I ain't complaining. Holla. Um, so wheeled me back, hooked me up to the machines. Um, hooked one was for contractions, one was for Ryland's heartbeat, one was for my blood pressure. And I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. And I was having contractions. They were 2 to 3 minutes apart. She checked to see if I was dilated. I was still only dilated a centimeter. I've been a centimeter dilated since 34 weeks. Yeah, 34 weeks, I'm pretty sure. I've been a centimeter dilated. So she left, and I was just having to deal with the contractions. There was nothing they could do for me or anything. She called my doctor. He didn't come in. He was the doctor on call as well. My doctor, the one that I go to, was the doctor on call. I'm his patient. I'm his fucking patient. Having contractions. He's not at all concerned. Does not come in. Anyway, the other day, I was at the emergency room as well because I started shaking and I thought it was just probably my blood sugar, but I called and they told me to come in if it lasted for more than an hour, and I did. And the doctor on call, Dr. Tucker, he came in over nothing. I literally was perfectly fine, not having any contractions, and he came in, but my doctor can't come in when I'm having contractions 2 to 3 minutes apart. Like, what the fuck? Go back to school. Um, gosh, I'm making this too long. So, I was having contractions 2 to 3 minutes apart. They did a urine sample and took some blood work. Everything came back normal. She said I am in labor. The nurse did. She came back. She was like, "You are in labor. You're in premature labor." She said she checked me again. I was still only a centimeter dilated. She said, "Well, you're not dilating, so we're not allowed to keep you because you're not dilating." She said if my contractions get worse to come back. She said if I have my water breaks come back, if I start bleeding come back, more than what I'm supposed to because they checked my cervix twice. So obviously I'm gonna bleed a little. Sorry, obviously I'm gonna bleed a little. Um, so yeah, I just had to come back for those if any of those things occurred. She said that I could leave and come back 4 hours later and be in labor and be like 5 centimeters dilated. And I asked, is what she said, and so I asked her. I said, well, can I be in premature labor for as long as up until I'm actually due, till my actual due date? And she was like, yeah, well, you can, but no. So she definitely does not think that I'm going to last until my due date. I think I probably am. My contractions, when they after they sent me home, I took a nice warm bath. They told me I could. I took a nice warm bath and tried to relax, and the bath eased my contractions up a little. I still was having them all throughout the night. They were not as bad because my son moved out of my back. He was in my back. So they were not as bad because he moved. Um, um, I could not sleep very well because of them. I kept waking up. So I didn't actually officially get up until almost 3 o'clock this afternoon because I didn't have a lot of sleep. I kept waking up. Um, um, I do not think I'm having any more contractions as of right now. It's been about an hour, I think, since my last contraction. Sometimes, which actually I'm not even sure because sometimes I wouldn't feel them, but they say that they told me that if I like feel on my stomach and if it kind of like comes to like kind of a point, it's obviously not going to be a point, but if it kind of comes to a point and it's really hard and firm, really really tight, then I'm having a contraction. So, I actually haven't checked that, but I could still be having contractions and just not feeling them anymore. Thank God. But I've also been sitting down and a lot today and relaxing, so that's probably the reason. Um, I only get up to use the bathroom and eat because they had been hurting me up all through today and everything until about, like I said, about an hour ago. That is all I have time for. This video is long as shit, so sorry for the extent of it. But that is about it. I have an appointment tomorrow with my doctor. He'll probably check my cervix again to see if I've dilated anymore, if I like still have contractions throughout the day. Um, but that's about it. And I will probably make another video and let you guys know maybe, or I might wait until next week again. I never really know. But I will let you know. I will let you guys know something between now and then. So, could be really exciting. I think I'm probably am gonna last until until my due date, but we'll see. So, thanks for watching, guys. I'm sorry it's so long, but I hope you liked it. Like, comment, and subscribe.